name's Owen, but everybody calls me Howard, and I'm a senior as well.
I'm Sebastian, and I'm also a senior.
I'm Deacon Burgess, and I'm also a senior.
Thank you.
How long have you guys been playing? When did you start playing?
Sixth grade.
Sixth grade?
Sixth grade.
Awesome.
Sixth grade, yeah.
So, it's been like 7 years?
Yeah, 7 years.
Yeah, 7 years, something like that. So.
We're taking our math final.
I'm sorry.
Good luck.
Yeah, yeah.
Try not to call in sick.
Pray for ice.
Yeah.
that clock must be slow. I see we're on the air. My phone says 7 o'clock. I say we get started. All right, this meeting is a meeting of the school board in public for the purpose of conducting the school corporation's business and is not to be considered a public community meeting. There may be time for public participation as indicated by agenda items or as directed by the president. The meeting site is fully accessible. Any person requiring further accommodation should contact the superintendent here at the school corporation central office. This meeting will be electronically recorded and will be kept on file in the superintendent's office. A copy of the audio recording will also be available at the NLCS website. At this time, if you would, if you're able to, rise and cover. We're going to say the Pledge of Allegiance. Mr. King, would you lead us?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Our first item on the agenda is a recognition of retirement of one of our longtime administrators, Ms. Kelly Storms. So, what do we got here? So, Ms. Storms, let's do this. Upon this occasion of actually January 2nd, 2026, so we're just a little bit early, right? But for your years of dedicated service to NLCS and the corporation and all the schools here, we want to thank you as a board for your many years of service and wish you well in retirement.
Thank you so much.
You want to say anything?
I do.
Okay.
I'd just like to take a moment to thank all of you for your continued support of Gateway Academy. The support of the community, the families, Superintendent Yancey, Mr. Underwood, all board members, has been overwhelming since we started the program 7 years ago. And I think it's been an effective program. I've certainly enjoyed it. I was privileged to be able to build it, and here we are today. So I'm very confident in the leadership we're sending it toward with Ms. Epping. And again, just thank you all. It's been a pleasure working for North Lawrence Community Schools from the moment I stepped back home. In the article they wrote when I came back from Mitchell, I taught at Mitchell for 6 years, and they wrote an article, and I said I came back home, and I've truly felt home for the last 22 years, and I've been privileged to work with a lot of great people. So thank you very much.
Well, thank you again. And
More.
on behalf.
Thank
Any
you
more
so
words? No,
much.
just kidding.
No, I'm good. Don't give me a microphone. Everybody knows that. Thank you. Shoot. Thanks for everything. Thank you.
Okay. Again, thank you, Ms. Storms, and good luck in your retirement. And yes, don't feel like you have to stick around for the entirety of this meeting. She's behaving like a retiree already.
It's not till January.
At this time, I would accept a recommendation for approval of the minutes, a motion to recommend approval of the minutes of the executive session and the regular session from November 13th, 2025.
Make a motion to approve the minutes of executive session memorandum from November 13th, 2025.
All right, Mr. King makes a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Gilbert seconds. All those in favor of approval of the minutes, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? All right, motion carries. All right, item D on the agenda, persons to address the board relative to the agenda. We have two persons. I believe Ms. Lacey Hawkins has requested time. If you would, Step up, make sure the mic is on, and state your name and,
I'm making sure the mic is on.
yeah, there you go.
Lacey Hawkins, President, North Lawrence Education Association, is the role in which I'm standing here, although as a concerned teacher as well. I really had a question as much as anything. At the last board meeting, there was a first reading of the Neola policy mentioned in 01 and 2, and I didn't know what that policy was at the time, so I've asked some questions since then, and now here we are on the second reading, and it looks like approval of that policy as well. And so I don't know if you answer questions during this session or if I can just put those questions on record. Either one is fine with me. But I'd like to know if that policy will be read tonight before it is approved, so that the public is aware of what that policy says.
It is on the agenda. We typically have not read the entirety of the policies.
Sure, I understand that.
I don't.
I don't know how long this policy is, but at least some kind of summary of, I know how long the Neola policy is.
Right.
I also know that it contains things about miniature ponies and microwave ovens, because I have read it. But my question really is that we're adding a policy about artificial intelligence, which is something that teachers, and let me just double check that, without knowing what this policy says, we don't know how it's going to affect students, we don't know how it's going to affect teachers. So my next question would be if teachers were consulted in the creation of this policy.
I don't have an answer for that.
Okay, then I would like to
Our
request the policy.
superintendent might be able to.
Okay, I'd like to
Ms.
request the
King, yeah.
policy be read tonight if
Committee
possible.
made of administrators, none of our policies on Neola are reviewed by the faculty,
Administrators at the school level?
administrators, school level,
Okay.
and here at the administration.
I'd like to request if this policy references teachers that it be read.
Yeah,
Thank
I
you.
think that's fair.
That is an agenda item. Wait for it. 02, 01 and 02. So that,
Yeah, category O is all of the policies, right? We got two volumes, volume 37, 36, number 137, 37, number 1. We got, I don't know.
do we know the scope, how long
Yeah.
that policy is?
Well,
AI policy, I mean?
Yeah, I read them. I read all the policies. It's consistent with the guidelines that were provided by the state Department of Education for AI and how to develop policies and what to look at. And there are 6 policies that Neola initiated or made changes to this year that reference AI, and specifically natural language processing, which our policy addresses.
All right.
So
let's-
I think our coverage is adequate for the topic and for the guidelines provided by the state.
Okay, we will look at this then when we come to item O on the agenda. Next, persons to address the board, I have Mr. Logan Felts.
Hey, everybody. Logan Feltz, Vice President, North Lawrence Education Association and educator here. So I'm kind of the same thing Lacey's on. Any kind of a policy that has to do with teachers should hear it or should know about it, especially if it has anything to do with evaluation. What I'm asking, so you guys have it. I know I agree with parts of it. Okay, I think students should very much be limited. I look at use of AI kind of like plagiarism or copyright or just taking anybody else's work because it's not your work and you're turning it in. I 100% agree there should be something students. I think AI is so broad that when you try to say you can AI, and if you use a large language model, as is in this policy, right? That's what we're going after. We want to make sure if you're using AI, it's credible, it's reliable data that we're putting in. I think to make a policy and implement said policy before you have the checks and balances where a teacher can submit the work that they do. I had a discussion with Joel the other day, and I gave him an example, and I talked to Mr. Yancey, and I gave him the same example how I would use AI. Okay, so I did this actually when I was in New Orleans at a SREB concert. So about 80% of everything we do at these teacher advancements or workshops, most all of it's geared towards AI because it's coming whether you want it or not. And the example I gave him was if I go to ChatGPT and I say, I want to make a dating game for cows. So I got a heifer. She's first-time breeder. I'm going to throw 5 bulls her way. One of them is all of his EPDs are written off of birth weights. One is off weaning weights. But I have different stats, okay? So it creates this thing. I know it. I'm the knowledgeable educator. I put in my data, and then ChatGPT spits out a worksheet for me for my students to go working through. It's my responsibility as the educator to make sure that that document is correct. By the policy that's written here, ChatGPT is a large language model, okay? It would be banned. Now, the problem I mainly have with that is that come July, because I understand that we're going to look at this every 6 months, and now that the policy would be voted on tonight, if you pass it, then every 6 months it would be reviewed by the board and 2 teachers from the high school, 1 teacher from the Career Center, and I don't want to be that. I ain't that guy. There's more knowledgeable people about AI than me. But in that, elementary is excluded. And I've learned that elementary uses AI. It blows my mind. Talked to my daughter about tonight, okay? She can write, she can do, but she also knows how other people can use AI and how it, through Canva, a portion of it you can use and you can implement. So it's in the elementaries. They're not mentioned in the policies. They're not included in part of the discussion of that. What I would like to see is the policy passed addressing students, but all administrators, all educators, we wait until we have a document where Logan Phelps can write his name, say what he uses, how he uses, submit that to our director. That director of technology then gives it to our team to overview, to look at. And then in July, before school starts next year, we say, hey, this is an approved site, this is an approved site, this is an approved site. So teachers know what they're getting into. We don't pass a policy that says, hey, we're not doing it. Because what I'm fearful of is that, and I like Greg a lot. Greg's a good dude. But I'd say Greg's probably seen this policy. I'm guessing, okay? Greg is our local guy. Michelle is our state go-to when there's action. If I, Logan Phelps, wanted to continue to do this and say my administrator had an axe to grind with me or found fault with me and they put this down,
If you can wrap up, Logan, please.
Michelle
30
Cooper
more
would
seconds.
handle it, not Greg.
Let me address it. So I read the policy, and the policy does not exclude teachers from using AI. The policy does not exclude any elementary teachers from using AI. The policy does have a committee that looks at multiple platforms and applications to make sure that it's uniform. And it won't be, I'm sorry, is this it? Okay. So there's no exclusion from anybody, and the list that you want is exactly what the policy provides. It's just that it's a list of all the corporation working together on instead of individually, so.
Okay, let's again hold this for item O on the agenda as we get to it. And if there is a motion and a discussion point after a motion is made, then we will take this up then and engage a little bit more. Okay, item E on the agenda is approval of superintendent's contract amendment. Mr. Greg Pittman.
Thank you, Mr. President, members of the board. You have a contract for consideration tonight. As a result of some negotiating and discussion for several months, Mr. Yancey's contract. The current contract ends June 30th of 2026. I'm going to highlight the changes that are in this contract, this proposed. $2,000. If the evaluation is highly effective, the increase would be between $2,000 and $4,000, and that's at the sole discretion of the board. For 25-26, there was an effective evaluation. This was in the contract before with just different dollar amounts. They were lower dollar amounts. For 25-26, there is an increase that is needed for this first semester of $1,000, so that's in the contract to pay that for the 24-25 school year evaluation. So the evaluation was 24-25, but the increase should have been for the first semester of this year, so $1,000 for that. Under health, dental, and vision, the change there is that North Lawrence Community Schools will be paying 100% of the health insurance, dental insurance, and vision insurance for Mr. Yancey. If he were to elect not to enroll in the school's insurance, then he would be entitled to a $500 per month stipend. If he enrolls in the insurance, then that would stop. Then the other change was under vehicles. There is a minor change, but he was limited on how much he could use the school's vehicle for personal use inside Lawrence County, but that's been modified understandably so that he can use that for as needed inside Lawrence County, but he cannot use it for personal use outside Lawrence County is how it reads now. So those are the changes, and one, I'd sent the board two versions of the contract, one that would start January 1st and one that would start July 1st, and in my discussions, I believe the recommendation is January 1st to start the contract. So that would be for a 3-year term, 3.5-year term, starting January 1st. The contract would terminate June 30th of 2029.
All right, have a recommendation then that the contract is read and discussed with Mr. Pittman then. Do I have a motion?
I'll make the motion.
All right, Dr. Miller makes a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
All right, Ms. Collier makes a second. Discussion related to this motion.
We didn't discuss a January 1st date.
We discussed
July,
a
the school
July
year.
date, and then in
And now it's a
negotiation,
January.
after Mr. Pittman reviewed with Mr. Yancey, Mr. Yancey requested an effective date of January 1st.
Well, I make a motion, we table it till we can discuss the change of the start date that wasn't discussed.
There's already a motion on the table right now.
You have to take the motion to table as presented. So you would have, if she's making a motion to table, if it's seconded, you'd have to vote on that, whether to table it or go ahead with the vote tonight. So
Just to table the motion that's on the floor. Right, okay.
yes.
I'll go ahead and second it. I'll second it.
All right, then by roll call vote, all those in favor of tabling this motion, please signify by saying aye. Starting with Mr. Soapland.
Nay.
Nay. Mr. Collier?
Nay.
Nay.
Dr. Miller, nay. I'm a nay.
Aye.
All right, the nays have it. The motion to table is defeated, and we still are in discussion phase of the motion to renew the contract as discussed.
I would just say, Greg had emailed us and asked us to contact him about which date we wanted. That was the discussion I was thinking of.
Yeah, but it wasn't a board discussion.
And my position on this is, it was a negotiation point with Mr. Yancey, and if we do not pass the January 1st start date, we can fall back and then pass the July 1st start date. We have discussed this contract in at least 2 executive sessions, and I do not believe it is appropriate to continue to drag this out.
I misunderstood the question.
Okay.
May I change to nay? I misunderstood
Oh, you thought you were voting
Yes,
on it?
I apologize.
He thought he was voting on the motion to approve it.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
You were voting on the motion to
Yeah, I
table.
misunderstood. I would like to change my vote to nay if possible. If not, it's fine.
You said nay, didn't you?
He wants to vote nay for the motion.
To table.
To
Yes,
table.
I apologize for that.
Oh, all right. I understand.
So it's
Okay.
it's 5-2 now
Understand,
instead
okay,
of 4-3.
understand. Okay, thank you, Mr. Gilbert. So for the record, Ms. Kaylee, the vote would change. So, okay, further discussion on this contract renewal motion.
Since it was a contract modification to the date, we probably should have discussed it in executive session and not have the discussion here this evening.
That may be true, but I think we all know that these two contracts are identical except the start date. And I really thought we could just vote it in and let our vote speak for it.
But we've always done school year. That's never a January for any administrator.
Yeah, I don't know that changes anything.
Just since he has a teaching license, it has to be tied to a teacher's contract, which is tied to the school year. That part is legal. The other part, the start date can still change, but it has to be tied to the teacher contract, which is based
Mr.
on.
Pittman, you drew up these dates. Do you have any comment on the date?
It's your discretion. You can amend the current contract and start the compensation, and the other change is January 1.
So
if the board
the
so-
amendment would be either to July the 1st, 2026, or July the 1st, 2025,
replace-
retroactively?
No, this would be an extension also, but you're in effect amending the current contract to start this new contract January 1st.
Okay, so
Yeah,
it'd
but
still be tied to the school year?
Replaces,
Okay.
amends and replaces it.
Yeah, so if we wanted to tie it to school year, technically, we could go back to 2020, like last year.
And I believe you said that the teacher's contract and the pay raises they received in the recent negotiation are retroactive to July 1st, 2025.
Yes,
Because
Yes. their contract ended June 30th
Yeah.
of last year, so has to be retroactive, yes.
Yeah, because his contract's still active. Theirs wasn't.
That is true. And we have been discussing this since September.
But we never discussed changing the date.
No, we did not. We discussed a date that went back to in the negotiation process to Mr. Yancey, and he requested this date as a compromise as opposed to being retroactive to July 1st, 2025. So this falls in the middle of that date range.
And as Wendy indicated, our attorney did send us the email with the two different versions, and we were asked to contact him if we had questions or concerns.
All right. Wrapping up discussion then, any further comments or questions? All right, again by roll call. All those in favor of approval of the contract as submitted with the January 1st, 2026 effective date, please signify by saying aye.
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 Nay.
All right, the ayes have it. Motion carries. Thank you, Mr. Pittman. All right. Next item on the agenda, Business Office, Ms. Carson.
Good evening. I'd like to ask the board for approval of claims and payroll since the last board meeting in the amount of $4,724,005.60.
All right, have recommendations approval of claims as read. Do you have a motion?
Make a motion, we approve the claims and payrolls since the last board meeting.
All right, Mr. King makes a motion. Do you have a second?
Second.
Dr. Miller seconds. Any questions or discussion? All right, hearing none. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. All right, anything else, Mrs. Carson? Don't see anything else. Okay, next, item G, Mr. Younger. Mr. Unger.
Good evening. I'd like to present to you the personnel agenda for approval. Item number 1.
All right, Mr. Unger has a personnel agenda that the board has seen. Have a recommendation for approval as listed. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Mr. Sokolin makes a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Ms. Collier seconds. Questions or discussion related to this motion? All right, hearing none. All those in favor of approval of the agenda of personnel, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Mr. Unger.
Thank you. I'd like to ask approval of item number 2. This request allows North Lawrence Community Schools to invest in the professional growth of our business, payroll, benefits, and human resource teams. The IASBO annual conference provides practical Indiana-specific training that strengthens compensation planning, benefits administration, payroll accuracy, and compliance. These systems are foundational to employee satisfaction, retention, and long-term organizational stability, directly supporting focus area number 3 of our strategic plan. I'd like to go ahead and present to you the approval of the IASBO conference for the HR team and finance team.
Okay, I have a recommendation for attendance to this conference for the HR and finance teams. Do I have a motion?
Make a motion for approval of the Human Resource and Finance teams to attend the Indiana Association of School Business Officials 80th Annual Conference and Expo in French Lick, Indiana, on May 6th through the 8th, 2026.
All right, have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Sullivan seconds. Questions or discussion related to this motion? All right, hearing none. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion carries.
Okay, thank you. Item number 3 concerns a placement agreement with Western Governors University. This partnership supports a talent pipeline strategy by expanding access to by giving us access to education preparation programs. By hosting these candidates, it strengthens recruitment efforts, supports mentorship opportunities for current staff, and reinforces NLCS as a learning-centered employer committed to professional growth. So I'd like to present to you the approval placement agreement with Western Governors University.
Okay, I have a recommendation for approval of this placement agreement with Western Governors University. Do I have a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Mr. Gilbert makes a motion. Do I have a second? Ms. Miller seconds. Questions or discussion related to this?
I have a question. Can you explain what you mean by the pipeline and these candidates? I mean, I don't
Okay,
understand,
so-
I don't understand what the purpose and benefit is of this agreement.
Yeah, so what we're trying to do is, and we already have, but we're also trying to do a little more formalizing it, is the idea that, for example, student teachers can come in and observe. Student teachers can also come in and perform their clinical part with our staff. One of the reasons they reached out to us was we already had several people who've went through these programs, whether it was a transition to teaching program. So, for example, one of our current teachers has started out and decided she wanted to be a teacher at Gateway Academy with special needs, and Amanda Nixon was somebody that went through this. We've had some others. So it just kind of formalizes that agreement. I talked to the representative. She said this helps to streamline the communication and also makes clear like what they're responsible for. So like from an HR standpoint, they make sure that the person's has the appropriate background checks. They make sure this person's has a mentor at the place of instruction. And then we also agree to certain things. They're not an employee of ours at that point. However, there has been several current employees that do this program.
So
So it's a recruitment tool?
It's student teachers through this university.
Yes.
Okay.
It's
Yeah,
like a
yeah.
recruitment tool? Is that how you're seeing it?
That I'm seeing it, yes, that I want to get more, I want to strengthen our partnerships with the student training programs.
Is there a cost associated with this?
No, not to us. They provide an honorarium to the mentor teachers.
Okay, further question or discussion? All right, hearing none. All those in favor of the approval of this placement agreement, please signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Mr. Unger.
Thank you.
All right, item H, elementary curriculum. Ms. Hudson.
Good evening. I ask for your approval this evening of a memorandum of understanding between NLCS and the Lawrence County Juvenile Probation Department. I believe you should have a copy of the MOU in your packet.
Okay, I have a recommendation of approval of this MOU. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Ms. Collier makes a motion. Do I have a second? Mr. King seconds. Questions or discussion related to this motion? Ms. Hudson, this is a standing agreement that we just renew every year.
Actually, this is a new agreement. It's related to, in October, I shared that NLCS was awarded a grant by the Indiana Criminal Justice Institute, or the ICJI, for Bedford Middle School's Attendance Matters campaign. So this grant will implement a partnership, an even stronger partnership between North Lawrence Community Schools and the Juvenile Probation Department, that we will collaborate with them closely to support reentry plans for students, monitor progress, and develop individual attendance goals as part of diversion and supervision plans. So since we're going to be sharing data with the Juvenile Probation Department, this seems like a good idea. We were encouraged by the grant, the grant funders, the Indiana Criminal Justice Institute, to have an MOU on file.
And we have a school liaison identified.
So we already have someone in that position. She'll just continue. It's Savannah Kidwell. So she'll continue and focus efforts at Bedford Middle School and working with the probation department. Mr. Pittman reviewed this, as well as the juvenile referee. Katie Messman had the judge review it too, just to make sure both sides think that this is.
And this talks about sharing data through secured means. We have that set up. Okay.
All right, further questions or discussion related to this item? Okay, hearing none. All those in favor of approval of this MOU, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Thank
Thank you. Dr. Shipley's next, and she's going to do a very short presentation on our wellness professional development that happened on November 4th. What she won't say is that she is responsible for all the success of that day. So I wanted to let you know that up front. It was a wonderful day. We got so much positive feedback from our teachers across the corporation, and so I just wanted to add that because I know she will leave that part out.
All right, thank you.
Good evening. I'm here to provide a very brief presentation on the STAR treatment event that we held on a planned e-learning day, which was November 4th. So this is the agenda, kind of like a mini conference style. We spent the morning together at Bedford North Lawrence High School, and this was for all certified staff members. So because it's an e-learning day, they were scheduled to work. Why we do it? Because K through 12 educators report the highest level of burnout among all professionals, and this relates to our strategic plan. So if you look at priority area number 3 of the focus of staff wellness, staff retention, really doing something that addresses their burnout and also promotes that work-life balance. The goals of the event, there were 3 primary goals, really to introduce staff to different types of topics and sessions. So there were 22 different types of sessions, to connect with other staff members, so the rosters were built, so that representation from each building was included in each session, and then of course to give them time to de-stress and unwind and just really participate in things that they found intriguing. So these were the sessions. On the left, you'll see the session topics, and then on the right, you'll see the session presenters. So we had a wide variety of session presenters from both the school corporation and then from community partners. And of course, we are very grateful that they all spent their morning with us out at the high school. So the next few slides just show the different sessions. Trying to do something for everyone, some physical activity, some art, some carpentry, welding, everything that to try to appeal to everybody. And then I just want to publicly acknowledge our sponsors. So these were corporations that financially gave to the event, and so without them, we wouldn't have had the necessary funds, especially for the food and the session supplies. So thank you to Centerstone, the Bedford Rotary Club, Hoosier Hills Credit Union, and Indiana Health Centers. And then at the event, we partnered with the Lawrence County Public Health Department to provide flu shots. So they gave out around 30 flu shots to employees at the event. So tried to make it very convenient to get your flu shot while you're in the building. And then, of course, many thanks. So this event was something that the Wellness Committee, which I facilitate, was really passionate about doing. So the Wellness Committee, during our meetings, we picked the topics, we thought of presenters, we contacted sponsors. And then the day of, Tricia acknowledged me, but of course I would acknowledge Tricia, Mrs. Webb, Jennifer Harris, Savannah Kidwell, Kirsty Garrison, and Dustin Haltom all helped the day of. We had wonderful MCs. I did not want to be that, so Thank you. Thank you for doing that. Christina Baker recruited the Career Center ambassadors, so students volunteered their time. Especially, there's a lot of people new to BNL trying to figure out where they're going to go. Mr. Canada and the BNL team, Chartwell's provided breakfast. Many thanks to the Parks Department for opening up the golf course. So that was a very generous act. Sam Haddon, he designed our t-shirts. Chris with the technology, and then IU Health provided as a volunteer opportunity to employees. So we had IU Health volunteers there as well. And then just lots of pictures I included, and you can look at them on your own. You see many familiar faces. Look at Mr. Yancey in action.
That's not the one of you laying there dying, was it?
No, that was group exercise. So lots of pictures, and of course I was so nervous and anxious about the weather, but it was a beautiful day. And then we created a survey and distributed the survey in the curriculum newsletter. I think we left it in for at least 2 weeks, asking for feedback about the event. And this was just some of the open-ended or the qualitative comments left by teachers and staff members. You'll see a lot of the feedback relates back to the goals, the ability to connect with other people, just feeling re-energized, trying hobbies that they haven't tried in years. So it was nice to see that the feedback really aligned with the goals of the event. And then there was a comment about students as well, like learning how to take what they've learned from their sessions and apply it with students. So that was nice. And then this was the larger event, but we've also been doing monthly events, and this just gives you an idea of what we've done so far this school year to connect staff members and to provide monthly kind of wellness events. And we do this with the Butler Grant Fund, so the Comprehensive School Mental Health Funds, and partner with some school personnel, but also community personnel. So I can't reveal what we have in the works because those are coming, but this just gives you an idea of what we've done so far. And I think that's it. Any questions?
Dr. Shipley, this may be a question for you or maybe
Okay.
Mr. Unger. So these are great things, and the day of and day after, everyone's psyched about it, happy. Do we do climate surveys for our employees, and how frequently are we doing those? Refresh me on that. I believe we are.
So far, since Nancy's been here, we've done 2, and we're getting ready to do the third one in January. So when everybody gets back, and we'll get to do food break and get back and send them out. So that's
Okay, very good.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Dr. Shipley. All right, item J on the agenda, secondary curriculum, Dr. Aaron Miller.
Good evening. My first item, I'm here to request the approval of a high ability K-12 book study.
Okay, I have a recommendation for approval of a high ability K through 12 book study opportunity. Do I have a motion?
Make the motion.
Dr. Miller makes a motion. Do I have a second? Ms. Miller seconds. Questions or discussion? Okay, hearing none. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you. My next item is the approval of teacher credentialing to sustain BNL's early college program.
Okay, I have a recommendation for teacher credentialing to sustain our BNL early college program. Do I have a motion? Mr. Gilbert makes the motion. Do I have a second? Mr. King seconds. Questions or discussion related to this motion?
I have a couple of questions.
Okay.
And George, you're right up. So we have a teacher who needs to continue training to get to this level. And if we've proven that she can start again in January, then she can go ahead and get the emergencies to finish the next semester.
Yes.
If not, those classes may be in jeopardy.
We would only have one licensed person, and that person is not, in the past, has not been licensed to teach the literature courses. The person I'm recommending to finish their licensure would be credentialed to do both literature and the writing.
Okay. And then if this is Ms. Downham, if she
Mhm.
finishes hers, will we still need to have a second one moving forward? Or it should be our second that would qualify?
So then we
All those
would have
topics.
2 in the English department, and as I said in here, the English department has courses that are required for the
Right.
ICC, and so
Okay.
it's really imperative actually, that we are able to maintain those. I'm hoping that some of the funding will come back online for the next school year, and we can get some of our younger teachers back in that pipeline and able to pursue dual credit credentialing. That's the hope, but we desperately need this one.
Okay. And then you say here that last year we agreed to pay for a Spanish dual credit license, or do we have that person in place?
Yes.
Okay. And then one more question. Do we, for these classes that you mentioned here, do we have minimum enrollment requirement? We have to have a certain amount of students before we hold these classes?
In the past, we have not, because they are required for either the ICC or the associate. So, and actually our ICC classes are pretty full. The associates numbers tend to be a little bit smaller if you're in a course that is for the associates.
Okay, so, but have we looked at if our enrollment drops below a certain amount, if it's economical or?
We're looking at, well, we have to, in order to get the associates, you have to have so many 200 level courses. And
Right.
what we're looking at doing is rotating those every other year.
Okay, all right. Thank you.
Okay, further questions or discussion related to the credentialing motion? All right, hearing none. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you. My last item is the approval of the 2026-2027 BNL and Career Center course offerings.
All right, recommendation for the approval of the 26-27 course offerings. Do I have a motion? All right, Ms. Miller makes a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Mr. King seconds. Questions or discussion?
I have a couple questions.
Okay.
So how does this course offering, either or both the BNL and the Career Center compare to last year? Just to this year, school year, I guess?
For us, we a few courses are not being offered.
Okay, so you have cut some out?
Ours stays relatively the same. Some of our capstone, those second-year programs are offered only if enrollment is there. So we have added more to the list than what we're currently offering, only because we want to offer that opportunity for students. They may not actually run next year.
Okay.
And I would say the same for some of the BNL courses you see on here as well.
Right. And do we have licensed, certified, and qualified teachers for all of our Spanish courses?
Yes, currently.
Okay. You don't expect that to change, right?
I mean, the hope is always no.
By the way you
So
said that,
I
it scared me.
feel like I have to
Also,
always say
is-
currently.
Is there a reason why we don't include German 1 and German 2 on this list?
Yes, because that is a program that is phasing out.
Okay.
So that would be one of the courses that
So
has
after next year,
disappeared.
German 3 is,
Yes, after next year, our only 2 world language
so we just
programs
wanna-
will be French and Spanish.
have we considered adding Latin back to our repertoire? We should do that, by the way. I highly recommend it.
Okay.
So next year, when you put this list together, consider that. If you're gonna get rid of German,
We
you
will.
should add
A Latin teacher will be extremely hard to find, but yes, we can.
Yeah,
I know.
How long has
You're-
it been since
you're
we
really
had
good.
Latin?
Actually, not that long ago.
4 years of Latin.
You got really good at what you do.
I don't think my
Just-
kids had the option.
We have an executive HR director, we have a curriculum director. We should add Latin and find teachers.
I
So-
took 4 years of
If you pay
Latin.
enough, I'll come back and teach one of them.
Way long, and at that point, I remember them saying that it was hard to find the Latin teachers. So I think that's the
5 years ago, we had one, but then she moved to a different district. So.
She couldn't have went home because they don't exist anymore. Okay, thank you.
All right, any further questions or discussion related to the course offerings? All right, hearing none. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Dr.
Thank you.
Next, item K, NLCC, Ms. Amy Redmond.
Well, good evening. The first item that I am seeking approval of a North Lawrence Career Center Esports League, and this is most definitely not my wheelhouse, so I've brought some associates with me, and I will let them introduce themselves, and then you guys can ask them the questions.
Hello, board. I'm Jaden Condry, BNL senior.
I am Sam Bartley, and I am a junior at the high school.
Hello, I am Mason Couch, and I am a junior at the high school.
All right, we have a recommendation. Should we do the motion before we get to the discussion? All right, we have a recommendation for approval of the North Lawrence Career Center Esports League. Do I have a motion?
I make a motion, we approve the proposal for North Lawrence Career Center Esports League.
All right, Mr. King makes a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Dr. Miller seconds. Now, discussion and question related to this motion.
I have a couple questions. One, I guess. It says here that this initiative should not be viewed merely as a recreational gaming club. And then you go on to explain why we should not consider that. So, would you say this is a recreational gaming club that has some benefits educationally, or is it an educational program that also includes recreational gaming? That make sense?
The second option.
Okay, good. Good answer. Also, it says you have a detailed operational plan. I'd like to come out sometime and look at it. Okay, when you get back at school. We won't do it tomorrow. Okay.
Thank you.
That's all I have.
Are you three the full extent of the program enrollees or founders, or what are your roles then? Plank holders, we call those.
We three are the three founders for it. Of course, we have Mr. Sorrells over there helping us with it, and we thank him greatly for that. We have a few other people who are wanting to, but they didn't come tonight.
They're out.
Let's pay dues.
So is this, so in terms of, you'll be competing in, just, what's an e-sport? Can you just explain really quickly, like what it is?
An e-sport would be like, let's say we take any sort of competitive video game, and we take a team of people who all are passionately, like, they like that game, either in their mostly in their free time when they play it, and we compete them against other people with the same ambition for gaming.
And it would be, ours, like the B&L would be a team?
Yes.
Competing against other, okay, that's great. That's awesome.
Is this during
ECA.
school time or your own free time?
This would be after school
It's ECA club.
This would be after school in, I want to say coercion with the offered league that's already in place.
And so will it be on site at, say, the high school or career
Yes.
center during
We
or
have
after
computers in
hours?
place for it
Okay.
already.
So it's not just your living room couches at home or anything?
Sadly, no.
Okay.
Do you have any idea how many other schools that do this as well? Are there a few? I'm just curious.
I will
like it.
introduce Mr.
I'm
George
just curious.
Sorrells, our hopefully soon to be
I need
sponsor.
to know
for
which
this.
schools we're gonna whoop up on.
The league is nationwide. There are approximately 460 schools nationwide in this league. We would be competing in the eastern part of the league, and there are about 160 different schools in the eastern section that we'll be competing against. So.
Exciting. Thanks.
Thanks for agreeing to sponsor this.
Just beat Bloomington South, okay?
Is Mario Kart one of them that you can?
Yes.
Oh, I was joking, but
And,
it
no,
is really?
Mario Kart is, and Mario Kart
Very good at
had the most interest of all of the kids in the high school. So
Rainbow Road.
How about Space Invaders?
Dating yourself.
I think there were
we had 30 students that expressed interest. Now, all 30 may not be able to join because the league, does the matches on a set day. So if, let's say a student wanted to do Mario Kart, but the matches were on Wednesday, but the student couldn't make Wednesday, they would either have to play another game or not join the league this semester. So,
How does this, thinking about, junior varsity or lettering, how does that work with this? Or
we
what
haven't gone that far yet.
Yeah, I'm like, who gets to start? I don't know how that works.
Well, I guess that would be me as the coach and the advisor. But one of the things that the league does recommend is, like, for Mario Kart. It's a team of 4, and we've got 13 kids that expressed interest. So we could do a varsity, a junior varsity, and a second junior varsity team if we wanted to. So we can try and get everybody involved. But as far as lettering, I don't know how that would work, so I've got no clue on that one. Yeah.
All right. Further question or discussion related to this motion? All right. Hearing none. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion carried. Thank you, gentlemen.
Beat Wilmington South.
Thank you. We've felt for a long time that there's a niche that we hadn't quite met, and I'm really excited to see where this goes.
Is there anything in the Career Center that's like game design or anything related to that?
That would be the curriculum that we're looking to purchase from this. It's all about game design and game development.
Okay. Very good.
And I'm excited to say that that curriculum purchase will most likely be paid for by community sponsors. We've got a few sponsors lined up already, but I don't want to say their name. We wanted to get through this process first. My second agenda item is approval for Patrick Alt, the Assistant Director at the Career Center, to attend the Indiana School Safety Summit in Indianapolis on January 6th through 7th of 2026, and he is seeking an overnight stay.
Okay. Have a recommendation for this, Mr. Alt, to attend the School Safety Summit. Do you have a motion? Ms. Miller makes a motion. Do I have a second? Mr. King seconds. Questions or discussion? All right. Hearing none. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Ms.
Thank you.
Redmond.
And while I'm here, I would like to say thank you for the work that you put in. Being a school board member can be a thankless job at times. So while I have the opportunity, I want to say thank you for what you've done for the Career Center and for NLCS and all of those students that feed into us. It is deeply appreciated.
Thank you, Ms. Redmond. Next, special education, Ms. Swingo.
Good evening. I have one item that I'm going to ask, that I need to ask for approval for tonight, and that is the approval for myself and my assistant, Kelsey Pace, to attend the IK Spring Conference in February.
Okay, have a recommendation to attend this conference. Do I have a motion? Mr. Gilbert makes a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Sultan seconds. Questions or discussion related to this motion? All right, hearing none. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Ms.
Thank
Swingo.
you.
Moving along, item M, technology. Mr. Housel.
Good evening. I would request approval of an E-rate Internet Services Agreement with Comcast. This is a 5-year contract that would begin in July 1 of 2026. So it's a continuation of not a continuation, this would be a new contract for our Internet services. And it is E-rate, so that means we pay 20%.
All right, recommendation for approval of this new contract with Comcast. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Okay, Dr. Miller makes a motion. Do I have a second? Mr. King seconds. Questions or discussion related to this motion? An E-rate, you said 20%. That's, what is E? Is that just a reduced rate?
Yes, so everybody pays, if you look at your cell phone bill, there's a UCIS tax that we all pay for that, and that goes into a big pot of money that's spread between K through 12 schools and libraries for internet services.
Okay.
So.
Thank you. Further questions or discussion?
I won't gripe about my cell phone bill as much.
All right, any other questions or discussion? All right, hearing none. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you. I request approval of E-rate Wide Area Network Agreement with AT&T. And this would be also a 5-year contract beginning July 1, 2026. Also E-rate. And the Wide Area Network, or WAN, is the larger network, our fiber between buildings, that kind of thing.
Okay, have a recommendation for approval of this agreement with AT&T. Do I have a motion? Ms. Miller makes a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Gilbert seconds. Questions or discussion related to this motion?
Yes, were these bid out?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, required.
I have a question. It's got the committed informative rate, and it's got 1 gig for all the elementary schools except for Shawswick. It's 500 meg. Is there one reason why that particular school has a lower rate?
I was thinking it was 1 gig for everyone, but 500 for need more was what I was thinking.
It says Shawswick Elementary it's 1 gig for the port, and 500 meg for the speed.
I don't think that can be right because obviously Shawswick's one of our larger schools.
That's what I thought. Yeah, that's kind of surprised, but I mean, it says you can adjust the speed and you'll be charged accordingly, but it shows that we're lower there for some reason. Page 5. So take a look at that.
Yeah, I'll take a look at it.
Thank you.
But you're confident that can be adjusted, Mr. House?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, further question or discussion? All right, hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you. I request approval of Chromebook purchase for the 26-27 school year. I'm a month or two early on this, but we are looking at a RAM shortage coming up, and so I'd like to go ahead and make the purchase before prices start going up.
Okay, I have a recommendation for a purchase for Chromebook. Do I have a motion? Mr. King makes a motion. Do I have a second? Ms. Miller seconds. Questions or discussion related to this motion? All right, hearing none. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Hausel. And item N on the agenda, athletics, Mr. Babin.
Good evening. Good evening, everybody. Do you want me to group the two field trips together as one, or would you like me to present them
I
separately?
think you'll have to do them separately.
Okay, that's fine. The first item that I would be requesting approval for is the overnight stay for BNL varsity softball, March 27th through March 28th in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. This is over spring break, so there's no class time that is missed. Some benefits: compete nationally against top-ranked teams to help us prepare for the HHC and sectionals. A positive is exposing our players to colleges in southern states, as well as obviously building team bonding and unity. I believe that they've gone to this same field trip in the past, if I'm understanding correctly. Accommodations: the team would stay in Murfreesboro, paid for by the Softball Grand Slam Club, so that's paid for by their boosters. Lunch and dinner also paid for by the Grand Slam Club. Transportation, bus or small white buses to get them there. That has not been worked out or finalized yet. Supervision, coaching staff, Mr. Gilbert, Coach West, and Whitney Carroll. If you guys have any additional questions on that, I'd be happy to answer them or get with Coach Gilbert if I do not have the answers currently.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Babin. I have a recommendation for approval of this overnight stay in Murfreesboro, Tennessee for our softball team. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Mr. Soapman makes a motion. Do I have a second? Mr. King seconds. Questions or discussion? All right, hearing none. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Mr. Babin.
Thank you. Number 2 is also for BNL varsity softball to take a overnight trip to Evansville, Indiana, to play 2 varsity games on Friday night and to play 2 varsity games on Saturday. Their departure time from school on that Friday would be after 2 o'clock. So again, they're minimizing the amount of class time that they are missing. Much like their trip to Murfreesboro, they're going to compete against top-ranked teams to help them prepare for the HHC and sectional. Again, additional exposure to get our kids going to schools, college coaches from Southern Indiana, team bonding and unity. For that trip, again, paid for by the Softball Grand Slam Booster Club. Food paid for by the Booster Club. Transportation for that would be 2 white buses driven by the coaches. Again, supervision for that is the coaching staff. I'm a big fan of having our kids go and play in tournaments where they can be exposed to colleges at the next level. Not everybody's going to play at the next level, but it is nice to get out and see teams, see people, see coaches that you don't see every day. So again, I'm requesting approval for that trip as well.
Okay. Have a recommendation then for this overnight in Evansville, Indiana. Do I have a motion? Mr. King makes the motion. Do I have a second? Ms. Miller seconds. Questions or discussion related to this motion? All right, hearing none. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Mr. Babin.
Thank you. Happy holidays, everybody.
Thank you. Okay, item O on the agenda, Superintendent, Mr. Yancey.
Thank you, Mr. Parsley. Second reading of policies, Neola, Volume 36, Number 1, Volume 37, Number 1, Volume 37, Number 2, and NLCS, Artificial Intelligence. That's the reading. Then we are asking for approval of the policies, Neola, Volume 36, Number 1, Volume 37, Number 1, Volume 37, Number 2, and NLCS, Artificial Intelligence.
Okay, we have a recommendation for approval of this policy after an abbreviated reading, obviously. I assume we'll have discussion following the motion. Should that be the way we do this?
Make a motion, we approve policies Neola, Volume 36, Number 1, Volume 37, Number 1, Volume 37, Number 2, and NLCS Artificial Intelligence Policy.
Okay, Mr. King makes a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Stokely seconds.
I would like to make a motion to table.
All right, Dr. Miller makes a motion to table the approval of this policy.
I second the motion to table.
Ms. Collier seconds tabling. Let's do a vote by roll call then on this topic.
So you're voting to table.
Voting on this voting to table. This is the voting to
It's
table.
hard.
Voting to table for how long or until what outcome? Till the next meeting or?
Most of the time these things push to the next meeting. Yeah.
Okay.
It has to be in the motion.
Okay, I make a motion to table until our next meeting in January 26th.
And the motion is to table to January of 2026. Do I have a second?
Or maybe the next, because in our first meeting, January,
Let's.
like
There won't be any,
six-
there won't be any reorganization meeting. It has to be the first scheduled meeting.
Do we have to have the date on it? You can just table.
Implicit in a motion to table is it would be brought up
In the next
That's
meeting.
what I
to
thought.
table at the next meeting.
That's what I thought.
okay.
Okay, so we're good.
All right, so I think it's
So we need to vote.
January the 15th, I think is
Never
technically
put a
the date.
date on it.
All right, then the motion is to table until likely January 15th. Ms. Collier, do you second again?
Yes, I still second it.
Okay. All right, then by roll call, a vote on the tabling, starting down at Mr. Sophie.
Aye.
Aye. Ms. Collier.
Aye.
Dr. Miller. Aye. All right, so this motion is tabled, and we will take it up at our January regularly scheduled meeting.
Could I ask that, I don't know how widely distributed it's been to teachers, and I know that teachers aren't usually involved in, but this one directly affects, it says that if they violate it, it could be, what did it say exactly? Something to do with their evaluation, discipline, thank you. So I think if it's something that's going to affect them being disciplined, they should at least see it.
That isn't, that's not the version that we got. That's not the latest version.
Either way, can we make this public
It's not the
either,
latest
like
version
on
of
our
the policy that
website
we're
or
trying to
something,
do.
so more
This
people
is
would have
the one.
access
Do you want
to
me to
it?
meet with the Teachers Association, go over it?
I think they should at least be
It's
able
taken
to see
When the administrators look
what
at it,
we're
they want to take it
considering.
out.
Because I had some people reach out to me with concerns about this.
And I think the elementary ought to be included in this also. They
Yeah.
ought to have representatives on the board.
Committee.
Okay, that motion is, or that item agenda is tabled, and we will take it up in January.
Thank you. We are asking approval of the boiler replacement at BNL High School.
So moved.
All right, Ms. Collier makes a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Dr. Miller seconds. Questions or discussion related to this boiler replacement? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you. This time, I'd like to go over the FYIs with the board.
Please proceed. Thank you.
The first is a synopsis of the Indiana Association of School Nurses Conference Summary. The second is a Wabash Valley EL Conference Summary. And the third is the National Association for Gifted Children's Conference Summary. So the people that went to these conferences filled out, and I wanted you to have copies of their rebuttal and information for you when they went to the conference. So the next is the Teacher Appreciation Grant Board Statement for the TAG Committee, and I'll read it to you, and you have it. Dear Board, the Teachers Appreciation Grant Program, IC 204316, is designed to provide funding directly to school corporations to attract and retain outstanding teachers who have made a significant impact on the students' outcomes. Per TAG guidelines, TAG money can be awarded to classroom teachers who serve in mentorship roles and hard-to-fill positions. In the 25-26 school year, the TAG money will be given to NLCS classroom teachers who serve their buildings in the following capacities: mentoring for the new teachers in district mentorship programs, 24-25 school year, mentors for the new teachers in the district mentorship program for the 25-26 school year, and special education elementary and middle school resource teachers, 25-26 school year. That is the hard-to-fill area in our district. In future years, the opportunity will be open to any NLCS classroom teacher who can demonstrate outstanding student outcomes and is willing to serve in mentorship or leadership capacities within their building starting in the 26-27 school year. Please direct any questions regarding TAG grant to Superintendent Mr. Kevin Yancey, and it's from the TAG committee. We were awarded around $131,000. Less than 50 teachers are eligible by state law for this grant. So you'll be receiving in January the next item. That is the Teacher Appreciation Grant policy that has to be approved by the board before that money is distributed out. And it's in your packet. I wanted you to have a few weeks to read through this. If you'd have any questions, you can contact me, and I can bring the questions to the committee. But I was with the committee through all the debates with this topic. I will tell you this is not, I repeat, not an easy task. I'm going to give one example. We were very blessed to have very good iRead scores in our district this year. We hit our strategic plan goal of 90%. So in some districts, those teachers could apply for this grant. So please tell me that our kindergarten teachers didn't help do these scores. Our first grade teachers didn't help do these scores. Our second grade teachers surely helped get these scores, but our third graders have to take the test. That counts. This is very complicated. The legislators didn't make this easy on school districts. We thought as a committee, the two groups right now that with our strategic plan is the mentoringship program. Because when I was blessed to come here 2.5 years ago, we already had a program, and Trish has done an outstanding job, and the directors around her, by adding to this program each year for first and second year teachers here, because we want to retain these teachers and help them become outstanding teachers. We did not pay these mentors. It's been all volunteer. We do believe these individuals should get a stipend of this money. And we also believe that we're going next year to even ask even more out of these mentors to help these first and second year teachers in our district. The special ed teachers, for example, you have 8 that do not get the stipend that you approve at the beginning of the year. Their caseloads, and Susie's here, has astronomical went up of how many kids they're responsible for. We have about 4 positions now open in special ed. As Mr. Unger has told me, this has been a need in our district. We have increased our pay over the last 4 years. We've given stipends to help. Special needs is a huge need throughout the state of Indiana. Again, this is just an appreciation to those special ed teachers that really are doing an outstanding job working with a lot of our special needs students. So the committee, a group of us, thought this was the best way to spend the TAG grant this time. Next year, I have no problem opening it up to any teacher that wants to apply, but then it is subjective. That means the committee, a group of us, are going to have to look at some outstanding teachers and look at test scores and determine how this money is spent, and only 50 at this time can receive this grant. I'm following the law. I've consulted with attorneys. I've also talked to other superintendents throughout the state, and of course, many schools are not taking the TAG grant because they don't like how the state has put this down. I asked you in executive session, everybody wanted to take the money, and I accepted the money, so I've already, Yancy and I filled out the paperwork and I signed it, so the money is coming. But by law, you have to do the policy in January. Then we will award it in, Yance? May? Yes. Yeah. And I will tell you, I have been very proud of some teachers in our district, because I look at the scores and I look at what the increase in student achievement. I have already congratulated Parkview Elementary for their outstanding math achievement in iLearn, but I also have some teachers at the middle school, for example, that have brought their math scores up. One brought it up 23%. So I want to tell you, I have another young lady that works at Lincoln who has some outstanding math scores. We are very blessed to have some teachers that are very dedicated to try to increase our student outcomes in state testing. And all I can at this time say is thank you. We very much appreciate the hard work of those teachers really pushing to bring our iLearn scores up. As we have on our strategic plan, we have goals. So this is what the committee thought. I'm open to suggestions, but I think this is the least amount of friction that will happen in judgment. Because as you know, when we open it up next year for anyone to apply, it's going to be subjective. And you know who makes the final decision? I'm sitting right here. I can have a committee, but that doesn't really matter when I'm on the committee because you know where it comes to. It comes to me. And I don't mind making the decision with a rubric, but I think this year, the way this was set up by the state, this is the safest way to go about issuing the TAG grant. Yancy, do you have anything to add to it? Or he was on the committee with me. Did I illustrate it pretty well?
Yes, and I'll just reinforce, it is a very tough decision. From my standpoint, right from the beginning, we can only give it to 20% of our teachers. And I would say we have way more than 20% of our teachers in our district who are outstanding and who give so much of their own passion, energy, resources. So it's difficult for me. So then we move to these areas that we felt were important. One thing that we've really been doing is improving our retention rate, and our certified retention rate is 83%. I'd like to see it even more because, again, that's the number one internal factor we have for student performance is the people we put in those rooms. So if we can continue to get those people, also beat the odds. The odds are right now that in 3 years, 30% walk out of the classroom and never come back. About 5, it's 50%. And if we can get good teachers, keep them, they're doing right by our students.
So the 20% is what the legislature,
Yes, it's in the law.
I don't understand why, but I can try to figure that out later. We
Yeah.
can't fix that.
Neither do the superintendents in our state. They don't
Under the
understand.
assumption you'll notify the teachers when the application period
Yeah,
starts
next year
and
we
ends?
will.
You will?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, they tied it to student outcomes and raised the amount, but they limited the amount that people can get. It's got a lot of bad reviews.
The next, I want to just give you Kylie Gilbertson with B&L Summer Stars shout out from the Hoosier Hills Credit Union. She spoke to you last board meeting. I thought it was a nice article. I want you to have that. Also, number 6 was the purchase of the B&L wrestling mats. It was under the threshold, so I went ahead and okayed this. It was for $14,745. The reason why B&L's wrestling room is upstairs. They have some mats. The new mats are real light and safe to move, but they moved an old mat, and this mat is extremely heavy. In past districts, I've seen children get hurt with these mats, and I think when the coach came to ask me about this, it wasn't hard because of safety to say yes, and we're taking it out of capital projects. So I went ahead and okayed it, and it's been ordered, and I want to just be up front, it's $14,745. The next is we were blessed to have 3 board members set through the State Board of Accounts audit findings, but I wanted you to have the long document from the state of Indiana. It's about this thick. So if you'd like to read through the audit findings, you're sure welcome. You have it. Also, we have corrective actions. I've also, when we had dinner this morning, or this evening, you saw on the board, those are all the corrective actions. So when you look at the corrective actions, it always uses very generic terms. I want to know exactly who's in charge of what, who looks over what form, and we will improve on our state audit. I can tell you the first year I came in, it was very overwhelming to have an audit that was never finished. That means that the auditors walked out and didn't finish. So I was a little nervous, I'll tell you, and I think we've come a long way over the last year. There is a group of people that I have to thank, and they're all right here, all these directors. The amount of work they did and tried to research our bookkeeping was not the greatest in past years. They searched, researched, worked. The auditors were very helpful. And Fatima, congratulations. I mean, you didn't leave me.
Thank you. And thank you.
And but I also want to thank the board. You got to remember, we were in executive session. If you didn't give me the authority to help bring Paul in with all that experience, we would never clean this up because you get a lot of the thanks. Dr. Gabriel's a blessing to the school corporation. Next, you will see the proposed 2026 board meeting schedule. If you take a look in your packet, we're trying to keep it regularly on the third Thursday of the month, but go to October the 8th or the 22nd because of fall break. You'll have to decide which of those dates you want. If you want it before fall break, if you want it after, you decide that at the next meeting. That would be, January 9th for the reorganization. Also,
January 8th.
Oh, it's January 8th? We got it wrong. Okay, so it's January 8th at 5 o'clock. And also, Mr. Parsley, you know you have to decide who's going to be, the board has to decide who the president.
Yeah, January 8th will be our reorganization
Yep.
meeting, then the January 15th meeting will be the first
First
regular
board
meeting.
meeting, okay. So I've got the 9th, so it's the 8th at 5. Also, the 9th item is the proposed salary adjustments for administrators, nurses, instructional aides, and is planned for January approval. Documentation will be shared with you in advance. There's been some hiccups as we're going through this salaries for raises. So I'll be on the phone probably with you to go through. There are areas, for an example, in some of our aides that need to be adjusted because we hired people years ago that at this rate, but some of our people have been here a long time are at this rate. So it has to be adjusted to be fair. So Fatima is working through that. Also, we have to discuss, when looking at our facility study, there could have to be some issues in the next 2 years because of Senate Bill 1. We have to determine, I'm probably going to ask for 1-year contracts. That is to protect the board and the corporation. Why? We do not know what we are going to have to cut for Senate Bill 1 totally. If you have to cut $2 million, I can't give people 2-year contracts right now. Not saying we're going to have a layoff, but we have to be prepared. So that's why I'm looking at, with our administration, of possibly only doing a 1-year contract, not a 2. I'll be in discussions with the board of that. The team and I have had those discussions. There's too much in the air right now, but until we make the final decisions of what we're going to do to cut for Senate Bill 1, we have to leave the door open, not to tie the administration and the board to contracts. So our attorney told me I should probably look to only do 1 year. I don't want people to go home at Christmas to think we're going to do something radical, because we're trying not to. But I think we have to be prudent, and I hope everyone agrees with me that we should be very strategic with this, because we're dealing with a pretty good deficit of about $2 million because of Senate Bill 1. So I want to thank some people real quick. I want to, of course, congratulate Miss Storm. What a great lady to work with over the last 3 years. And her passion for our children is evident, and I sure appreciate all she's done over my tenure with her. Of course, Mr. Jones and our students that's played for us tonight. Dr. Shipley and your group, the wellness, that was a lot of work. A lot of people were happy. Thank you. Appreciate all the effort. Now, I have been in and out of the office related to a health issue over the last 2 weeks. The principals, directors, Kaylee, board members, as you age, and I never thought I would age, I thought I would always have the body of my grandfather. He lived to be 97. And I do not have my grandfather's body. I would wish I did. But I have great doctors, and I got some great news, but I'm on some medication. It's going to take time for me to get through this part. You don't know how blessed you are till you're gone and you have people that you work with that take over. And you don't know how blessed you are when you have an assistant across, a friend across the room here, that I can call him coming back late at night when I had an attack and from Bloomington, and he was right there talking me through to get me. And Steve, I sure appreciate everything you do. And to all of you out there, you make me very proud to work here, and I sure thank you for, David, putting up with me, because, you know, when I zoom in, I call you and I'm irritated because my computer won't work. And I zoomed in a lot of meetings, and David was so kind to make sure, and I became pretty good at it. So the directors were called every day, and I know they probably were irritated because I can't be still even when I'm home, so I'm making phone calls. So I thank you for all of you for being patient with me. And then last but not least, a true thanks to all of our teachers and staff, and Merry Christmas, and of course we wish you all a Happy New Year. And board, thank you for the contract. I enjoy working for you and the people of North Lawrence.
All right, thank you, Mr. Yancey. Yeah, relative to David, there was a collective awe at our house when the auto recording of the cancellation came on, and not David singing or his kids yelling in the background or something. So I do have one RFI for a future meeting. I heard on the radio this week about, well, specifically Monroe County's response to reduction in Title I federal funds, and at some point we probably need to quantify that along with SB 1 impacts and things like that. I'm sure we probably know it, but it's just
yes, you will be receiving. We have coaches and we have interventionists, so we're now creating a hybrid. So we will be having discussions with you.
Okay, don't have to get it now.
Yep.
Just a future topic.
Yep.
All right. Bringing this to conclusion, item P, persons to address the board. Any further? Looks like we got one. All right, Ms. Hawkins. And I will try to keep the timer on this.
Sure, no problem. I'd be very quick. First, I wanted to thank the board for your discussion on the Neola policy, and in alignment with our strategic focus area 3 is cultivating a positive relationship with Teachers Association, and we want that too. We want to work together and implement policies that make us better and that make sense. So I appreciate your time and consideration on that. I also wanted to clarify with the tag policy that Mr. Yancey has been great about communicating with that, and everything he has said is true. That the new legislation on it does limit it. I would add as a clarification that he says, only a certain percentage of teachers or a certain number of teachers can get it. That does not mean that number of teachers will get it, because a number of teachers don't qualify. So when we open up applications for the tag, I do want to be clear that not every teacher will, I guess they can apply, but they don't qualify. So just because of the new parameters set by the state legislature. So.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Hawkins. Okay, no further persons to address the board then. Closing business. Spotlights and highlights. Mr. King?
I'll try to read quickly. Bedford North Lawrence High School, B&L is celebrating a great first semester. B&L is proud to boast about our academic and cultural experiences this semester. Our students have again shown strong academic improvement, increase of project credits earned, increase of dual credit and CT enrollment, and notable gains in credit recovery programs. B&L's school-wide initiatives on culture, including respect, character, and responsibility, have improved experience, attendance, and engagement in extracurriculars. We are proud of our stars and extend a stars shout-out to all of our B&L facility. Students in the Fire and Rescue Program raised over $400 by North Lawrence Career Center. Students in our Fire and Rescue Program raised over $400 by volunteering as Salvation Army bell ringers at Walmart, demonstrating their commitment to service and community engagement. Several programs contributed to donate items to Life's Fantasia auction, supporting a meaningful community fundraiser. The movie theater themed tree, decorated by HOSA, earned Best Youth Christmas Tree. FAA proudly earned the Most Festive Non-Commercial Float Award in the Bedford Christmas Parade. It was one of 3 floats designed, built, and entered by NLCC students and instructors, showcasing their creativity and teamwork. Bedford Middle School, our BMS band, recently presented their winter concert, and it was a wonderful performance by all students. Their hard work and dedication were evident throughout the concert, and they should be recommended for an outstanding job. All 4 of our BMS basketball teams are off to a great start this season. The atmosphere at our home games has been outstanding, with our cheerleaders keeping the energy high, our student athletes representing BMS with pride, and an incredible turnout from students, families, and community members. It's been great to see such strong support for our students. Dollins Elementary. Our school hosted a highly successful career day, welcoming community members who shared insights into a wide variety of careers. Students were engaged, asked thoughtful questions, and gained valuable exposure to future career possibilities. First grade students participated in an exciting rocket launch project, combining creativity, teamwork, and hands-on learning. This engaging activity reinforced STEM concepts and sparked enthusiasm for science and engineering. This evening, students in grade 1 through 3 presented their Christmas program. This event highlights student creativity, collaboration, and seasonal celebration. We look forward to sharing their hard work with families and community. Nemours Elementary. Our first and second grade students did a wonderful job showcasing their hard work and holiday spirit during the recent Christmas program. We appreciate our students and staff for creating such a memorable event for families. We are very proud of our basketball teams, cheerleaders, and coaches for a great season. Their teamwork, dedication, and sportsmanship represented Nemours Elementary well and made us both proud on and off the court. A big thank you to our PTO for organizing the holiday shopping event for our students. This special opportunity allows students to shop for loved ones and help make the holiday season extra meaningful for our school. Our students continue to shine with an impressive 97% attendance rate for the year. This reflects the commitment for students, families, and staff to learning and being present every day. Parkview Elementary. Parkview K-2 held their Macy's Parade on Tuesday the 25th, November 25th. Clayton Anderson was our Grand Marshal. The BMS cheer and band participated, as well as Shriners and Bedford Fire Department. The Bedford Police Department even blocked the streets for us. Thank you to our kindergarten teachers, Mrs. Gore, Miss Boshears, Miss Flynn, and Mrs. Robinson, for making this event such a memorable one for our students. And thanks to our community members for their support. Our first and second graders put on a spirit-filled Christmas program Tuesday evening. Thank you to Mr. Price for once again putting together a noteworthy experience. We are proud of our boys and girls basketball teams. They each finished with an undefeated season. Our 4 Parkview robotics teams competed in the first tournament of the season. It was a blended tournament with elementary and junior high teams. All 4 teams made it to the finals. The teams placed second, third, fifth, and sixth place. It was a great start for the season. Wishing you a wonderful holiday season. Lincoln Elementary. First grade students participated in rocket launch last week with the support from Career Center students who helped them design and build rockets before launching them in the gym. This hands-on activity increased student engagement while supporting problem solving and collaboration. Our first and second grade students performed for the Christmas program this week. They worked hard in preparation and put on a wonderful performance for family and staff. This week we held our annual gift of reading at a whole school event. Students enjoyed having a book to read to them by staff member and completing activity to go along with the story. Shoswick Elementary, our family community engagement action team organized and held Cookies with Santa on Tuesday. The first and second grade performers had their Christmas concert on Wednesday. Thank you to Mr. Covington and Ms. DeBrunner for arranging a great performance. We want to thank the staff engagement action team as well as the parents, families, and community for contributing to our staff 12 Days of Christmas giveaways for some holiday fun and culture building this season. Wishing all farmers, parents, and families and staff an amazing holiday season.
All right, thank you, Mr. King, and thank you to all the submissions of spotlights and highlights. Some really good, great stuff going on across the corporation. As far as upcoming meetings, as we mentioned, January 8th, 2026 will be our reorganization, finance committee, and special session. And then Thursday, January 15th, will be our first regular session meeting of 2026. I, too, appreciate the administrators and the staff of our NLCS Corporation. I know for what we think we're here for a long time, you guys here a lot longer before we get here and after we leave. So we thank you all for your service and dedication to this corporation. With that, I would accept a motion for adjournment.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Mr. King makes a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Dr. Miller seconds. All those in favor adjourn.